As the nation digests the president's address, his vision, promises, and pronouncements, it becomes crucial to look beyond the words and into their meaning. To help us unpack the deeper context, political signals, and possible impact of the 2025 State of the Nation address, we are joined by one of the country's most respected political voices, Professor Dennis Coronacion of the University of Santo Tomas via Zoom. Good evening, Professor.
Hi, good evening, Charms. Good evening to all your viewers.
Professor, you watched the entire President's SONA. What is your overall assessment of the key points he delivered to the Filipino people?
Well, I think that his SONA for this year is quite different from the previous SONA, in the sense that, as you said in your report, that when it comes to language, the president used the national language, or he spoke in the vernacular, which made it easier for the Filipinos, especially the masses, to understand his message. The messages contained in his speech. Second, I think when he delivered his speech, he was in a more serious tone, in the sense that he issued several warnings, as well as syndicates and other individuals who are violating the laws of the country. And third one, I think it's also very clear that the president in his speech took a swipe at his enemies. Of course, I think at this point it's very clear that the political leaders of this country have chosen their side, especially those in the Senate, in the executive, and at the House of Representatives. So those are the three very, I would call this, the three things that you'll easily notice in the president's speech.
Professor Dennis, one of the president's strongest statements was his promise to name those involved in anomalies in the government's flood control projects. How do you read this move, and what signal does it send about his administration's stance on corruption?
Well, the president is trying to send a strong signal against those who, against those government officials who failed to deliver, and in terms of implementing, the flood control projects, because he was, the president was commiserating with those Filipinos, especially in Metro Manila, and in the other provinces that were hit strongly by the typhoons and the monsoon rains. So he was sympathetic to the plight of these Filipinos, that he wanted those accountable, those DPWH officials to be held accountable. So I think that's a good, that's a good step on the part of the president there. That he would, after investigation, he would not just publish the names of these erring public officials, but also go as far as prosecuting them in courts.
Okay, the president also highlighted his administration's priorities for the youth, teachers, and Filipino athletes. Do you think these sectors have been given substantial attention so far, or has it been more symbolic?
Well, I think among these sectors in our society, the sectors that you mentioned, I think I'm not saying that they're being the most neglected, but less attention have been given to them in the past several years. Say, for example, in our athletes, even though he mentioned that some of the athletes that have excelled, recently, we cannot deny the fact that most of these athletes receive, say, less compensation or not enough assistance from the government. Now, in terms of the teachers, the public school teachers who play a crucial role, in molding the minds of our youth, our students, unlike the other, government employees, say, for example, the soldiers, the policemen, the public school teachers have been left behind in terms of being given, competitive salaries or adjusted salaries. So I hope that the president would not be satisfied with just giving them, symbolic help or token help, but he should go as far as increasing their salaries.
Okay, when the president said the Philippines is a friend to all and an enemy to none, what does this tell us perhaps about his approach to foreign policy in an increasingly global, complex landscape?
Well, it simply means that his foreign policy is to be friendly to all countries and not to just to achieve our national interest as we relate with the other countries. We should not be confrontational, and we should be diplomatic as much as possible or in all situations. And this has proved very helpful when we, as we navigate the several issues and challenges confronting our country with respect to to our OFWs in the Middle East. I think, as the president said, these Middle Eastern governments have accommodated our request. Most of our requests because we have been friendly to them and we do not, interfere. We remain neutral when it comes to the conflict or the issue in the Middle East. The challenge when it comes to foreign policy is with regard to the two major powers in the international community, and we're talking about China and the US, because we have been, I think, caught in the middle, in their race for supremacy, and it has been very difficult for us to navigate the issue, especially issues that affect our country, like the West Philippine Sea issue.
Okay, last question Professor Dennis. Looking ahead, based on this year's SONA, what challenges or pressures do you think the Marcos administration must confront or tackle to turn these promises into actual results, especially that we only have a few years left?
I'm sorry, can you please repeat?
Yeah. To repeat my question, what challenges or pressures do you think this administration must confront to turn all of these promises into actual results?
Well, I think every sector, every area of governance that the president has included in his speech has its own set of challenges. Say, for example, when it comes to education, it has its own set of challenges. Although he has so many dreams, he has so many programs in the field of education, but we know for a fact that there are so many challenges confronting our educational sector. Like if the president would like to expand the scholarship program of the government, then the question there is, do we have enough budget? Does the government have enough money to fund the expanded scholarship programs? So, and now apart from that, there's also, there are also challenges that you can find in the much larger area. Say, for example, I think this is going to be a persistent challenge for the Marcos administration in the last 3 years of its term. I'm referring here to the political dynamics involving the administration and, of course, the major opposition group, and I'm referring here to the Duterte bloc. So this is going to manifest. This is going to, I think this is going to affect the president's legislative agenda, because the pro-Duterte allies are definitely going to, to scrutinize, to challenge the president in every proposed measure and in every proposed bill that the president would like to realize.
All right, thank you so much for your insight, Professor Dennis Coronacion of the University of Santo Tomas. Good evening, sir.